Is Iberia really one of Europe's best in terms of business class experiences, or does its sleek Spanish facade hide something a bit less appealing? Let's find out.
Hey everyone, hola, and welcome to Santiago International Airport here in Chile. Today we're flying from here back to Europe, on specifically Madrid, on Iberia in their business class on their A350. So this should be nice, going on this flag carrier. Let's head inside and check in and go see what Iberia's got to offer. Vámonos! Alright then, made it through security, made it through passport control, and just going to head to the lounge. Today that's going to be the LATAM VIP lounge, because that's what Iberia is using for their business class passengers and their more frequent flyers. So without further ado, let's go and enjoy it. Well, here we are, we're in the LATAM VIP lounge and we're checking out the shower facilities here. So we've got a nice big shower head here, all these little amenities you can use, you've got air dryer, and yeah, pretty well done. So I guess I'll see you in a bit.
Hello. Hi. This way, please.
Here we are, welcome aboard A350 on Iberia in business class. First impression is the seats. A bit of an oddity in my opinion, because it's a 1-2-1 configuration, which is great, but which means that one half the seats are staggered against the other half against the window, so I've got a true window seat. But I do find that the legroom here, I mean, it's brilliant, don't get me wrong, but compared to some other carriers, it's not quite as I mean, your feet have to go into the footwell here to fit in underneath. So let's go on a little seat tour. It's got the IFE system here, it's all touchscreen, and over here you got the remote control for it as well. Up here you got the seat controls, going for all the different seat layouts. Then you got your headphone jack, you got one USB port, power outlet, another USB port. You got your headphones here, which you get noise cancelling. You got storage area here, but you can't use it during takeoff or taxi or landing. The reading light here. You got a head seatbelt, which actually is a 3-point harness one, so you have to wear that during takeoff and landing. Nice comfy headrests here. Tray table comes down like this, out, down, like that. Next, you got a little coat hook here, which you get. Down here, you got a literature pocket, and yeah, that's about it. Although one thing I do really hate that airlines do these days is, something missing? No individual air vents. Come on, Iberia, really? You're being that cheap? And also the A350 on this Iberia does not come with a tail cam, so wah wah. So yeah, first impressions, it's a good product, but at the same time, there's definitely, I'm seeing some places where there's room for improvement, but we'll have to go see what it's like in the air.
I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose, far away, ricochet, you take your aim.
Cabin crew, take your seats for takeoff.
Right, we're airborne now, so now we can check out the IFE system on Iberia's A350. So first thing call will be the in-flight map, obviously that's the best part. Hello. So the first thing I noticed, and I found this a bit of an annoyance, is that the in-flight map on Iberia doesn't actually update when you zoom in and out. It just stays stuck on the same data, which is really annoying. And especially like you see here, I zoom in on Madrid, you don't actually see it change or update with new cartography. It just stays stuck on the original map layout. Now it's time to try out the different movie and TV show options. So as far as movies go, there was a good selection, both in terms of new films and classic releases, as well as some kids options. You got various different studios, including Marvel, Disney, Pixar, and all that lot. TV options, you had a good selection, though not fantastic on the level of Emirates or Qatar. I mainly spent my time watching House of the Dragon, the prequel series for Game of Thrones, and watched the whole series, so that was pretty good. Then in terms of the games options, you only got 3 options, but Angry Birds was the one I tried. Now it's time to eat. So business class on Iberia gives you a nice little menu like this, and it has a pretty good selection of options for everyone's taste, so feel free to pause the video if you want to read through the full menu at your leisure. But for me, it was very good, impressed with the section on board, and there's also some nice on-demand snacks if you're feeling a bit peckish throughout the flight after dinner service or even before the breakfast service. And then you had some bakery options if you wanted to get some light bites as well. There's also a bunch of options for teas and coffees. You got obviously your black teas, your green teas, and then obviously you got your more harder stuff like your liquors and your aperitifs. So yeah, feel free to get sozzled. And of course, this being a Spanish airline, you had nice Spanish wines. I didn't try those because I don't really like wine myself, but that's just my personal taste.
Muy buenas. Hi, which you prefer, the salmon or the quinoa?
The appetizer, can I have a 7, please?
Sorry?
7, please.
Salmon.
Bueno, el vacío lo tenía, ¿no?
Sí, el vaso lo tenía, sí.
Thank you so much.
Dime.
No, soy yo, vamos.
Lovely.
One each?
Actually, got another white one. It looks so
Okay.
good. It smells. I can smell it.
Okay. Would you like olive oil or butter?
Thank
Would
you.
you like to drink?
Apple juice, no ice.
We have pineapple or orange?
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
And some our singlet together.
For the appetizer, I went for the smoked salmon, which wasn't really well presented in this cling film, which I found a bit near. But as far as taste goes, it was alright, but nothing really that substantial or mind-blowing. Just average, really. Just did the job, but yeah, not really that great. For the main course, it was braised beef, which was a lot better in terms of taste, but I did find it quite chewy and harder to eat compared to the appetizer. But I mean, it was alright. Just little nitpicks here and there. Now we move on to the Amenity Kit. So Iberia gives you out this really sort of beige, average-looking kit bag, but here's what you get inside. You get a nice little spread of the eye mask. You also get toothpaste, hair comb, toothbrush, socks. You got sanitizing gel. You actually got some like hand cream and just your standard business class amenities, but nothing really. Again, it's kind of usual. The trend with Iberia is like nothing extravagant, but does the job. So yeah, not too bad, Iberia. Now it's time for the loo review on Iberia. So let's go and see. We've got the vanity mirror there for those who need to top up their makeup. You got a standard basin, just a standard toilet really on the A350. Nothing really that extravagant. And you got a baby changer there for those who need it. It pops out like this. And that's the A350 loo review on Iberia. So I got changed into my PJs and decided to get some shut-eye because this was a very long flight and I needed some sleep, whereas this is an overnight flight. Here's Iberia's business class A350 seat in full flight bed mode, and as you can see, it's pretty comfy and pretty spacious. There's definitely a lot of space in the legroom and the footwell, and under here you can see they actually provide a mattress duvet, which is really nice and cozy, and a nice big fluffy pillow, which is also amazing. It was really nice, and I wish I could take it away home with me. And the blanket is also nice and thick. Unlike the Lufthansa 787 business class, which I recently tried on their trial runs between Frankfurt and Munich, this one's actually a lot more spacious in terms of, like, for those people who are maybe a bit taller. So I'm about 6 foot, 1 meter 85-ish, and yeah, it's pretty spacious and even got headroom there for my Lee. And as you can see down the cubby hole, it's very much not tight for space, and yeah, it's a pretty solid hard product. And just as everyone was getting ready for bed, the crew decided to dim the lights and use the mood lighting because the A350's got a really cool feature where you can change the colours on the overhead lights to make it a bit more warmer and help people get full sleep better. Just before going to sleep, I decided to go check out the Wi-Fi actually, because Iberia offers Wi-Fi very much, and they very much promote it everywhere on the aircraft. Like as soon as you board on the plane and there's a QR code by your seat, literally everywhere you can see there's like, please use our Wi-Fi, please use our Wi-Fi. So I thought I'd check it out. What's nice is Iberia does offer free Wi-Fi for messaging for Iberia Plus members, so you just sign up for their frequent flyer program, you get a free thing. But if you want to get more options like streaming or browsing, you can actually pay extra. And it's pretty decently priced. You got like I paid for the 4-hour option, although rather stupidly I bought it just before I fell asleep, so that was kind of wasted on me, so my fault. But yeah, you can get the whole flight for €25, which is pretty decent for a 12-hour flight, so hats off to you, Iberia. I ended up getting a really good sleep, about 6 hours, and I woke up just as we were coming in over mainland Europe. And just as I was waking up, the flight attendants were getting ready for the breakfast service, so I got my seat back into the upright position, and let's dive into our brekkie. I kicked things off with a lovely little English breakfast tea, which is delicious as always. As far as the food, this is where things went south, because the croissant was almost inedible, and it was just so dry and horrible. But the bread was alright, but yeah, that croissant I've used many in my time, and that was probably the worst one I've had. Alright, seatbelt signs on, time to save this last glass of pineapple juice and then get ready for landing. Well guys, welcome to Madrid Barajas Terminal 4S in Spain, bienvenidos. And just before we wrap up this video and give my final thoughts, I just want to touch on how I booked this flight, because I did not spend €10,000 for a ticket. To book my seat, I actually used 55,500 British Airways Avios points to fly from Santiago to Madrid in business class, and then I connected on to my home airport of Nice in economy, and all that for £120 in tax and fees, which is a really good steal compared to British Airways, who probably charged me well in excess of £600, £700 or even £800 for the same seat going via London. And yeah, I definitely refer Iberia in this regard, because they charge much lower taxes, fees and surcharges compared to their British counterpart. You're probably asking yourself, Matt, how did you get all those points? Well, pretty simply, I actually transferred them in from my American Express Platinum card, which lets me convert them over to Avios points. And yeah, in the UK you can do this as well as in the US with your Amex, Chase, Citi or Capital One card. In addition, you can also earn these points on your British Airways American Express card in the UK, as well as the Barclaycard MasterCard. Or in the US, you can also get the British Airways Chase card, which also has a nice big sign-up bonus as well. So there's plenty of ways to get a trip on Iberia in business class without breaking the bank. So, what did I think of Iberia business class then?
Pretty good flight with Iberia in business class from Santiago. Crews, pretty good. They were really good. They were really nice and friendly. The hard product was pretty solid, although, as mentioned, there is one or two things where I think Iberia can improve. Soft products, it is Doe & Co catering, I believe, just like British Airways, their sister airline. But yeah, there's still one or two things I think could be improved in that regard as well, because other airlines like Qatar and the Middle East ones definitely are a step above that in terms of the soft product. Overall, pretty solid for the amount I paid in terms of Avios and tax and fees, especially compared to BA, because they charge way too many fees for the price. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, because that helps out in the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see more content from me and this channel, be sure to subscribe to Platinum and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my future videos. As always, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Ciao.